Hello, this time got my Europa League predictions there into the round of 32. So there's 16 matches, the 32 teams playing. Also did my Champions League predictions yesterday, if you want to check that out as well too. With those two more extra games that's on tomorrow and next week's fixtures of 4. But a lot to get through here for the Europa League. Having a look at the teams and their divisions there, lots of different countries the Europa League, so it's great to see their recent head-to-head records, and then the odds of the games, and a bit of insights about the matches and how they got to this position. So I estimate this video to be about an hour long, so feel free to check it out. Starting off with Club Brugge against Manchester United. Club Brugge currently sitting top in Belgium, first place, 18 wins, 7 draws, and 1 defeat there of the season. Got 61 points altogether, 2 wins and 3 draws in their past 5 league matches, and have a 9-point lead over second place Gent. Club Brugge made the Belgian Cup final against Antwerp, still to be played. Recent results: draws against Kortrijk and Charleroi and Standard Liège in their division. While for Manchester United in 7th place in England in the Premier League, 10 wins, 8 draws, 8 defeats there this season, 38 points, 2 wins and a draw for them in the past 5 games. Only 3 points off 4th place Chelsea now, beating my team at 2-0 there recently, unfortunately. And recent bad results for them, they suffered 2-0 losses against Liverpool, and especially the one against Burnley at home. A 0-0 draw against Wolves, though that's not too bad of a result considering how well Wolves have been doing at the end of the season. And how these sides managed to get there. If you bear with me, look at the table and things. Manchester United top group L with 13 points, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. And for Club Brugge, they ended up coming third in the Champions League group there, without winning a single match, 3 draws, 3 defeats. Though they were in a really tough group with Real Madrid and PSG. So, bit of insights for this fixture then. Club Brugge are winless in their last 10 meetings with English sides in all competitions, 2 draws and 8 defeats since a 1-0 win against my Chelsea team back in the 94-95 season there. Manchester United and Club Brugge have faced each other twice before, with the Red Devils Manchester United winning 3-1 away and 4-0 at home in 2015-16 Champions League qualifying. Club Brugge were eliminated from the Europa League at this stage last season, last progressing from a knockout tie back in 2014-2015 against the Shakhtar. Manchester United unbeaten in the last 10 Europa League knockout stages, 1 such drawn 4 since a 2-0 loss against Liverpool back in 2016, and they ended up winning the competition last time they were in it back in 2017. And the final one, Manchester United have fielded 32 different players in the Europa League this season, more than any other sides. Also had 11 different teenage players playing for the competition this season, more than double than any other side. So giving a lot of youngsters a game, and ultimately ended up losing one of the games in the stages very easily, and a draw as well too, but still getting through top. And Manchester United probably go quite far in this competition as things stand. Odds for this game: Club Brugge are at home, $2.88, $3.25 for the draw, $2.40 for Manchester United. But I think Manchester United will come through this game here and get a 2-0 victory. Okay, on to the next one. It's between Ludogrets and Inter Milan. Ludogrets are currently top of Bulgaria with 15 wins and 6 draws, undefeated there this season, 0 losses. 51 points and have got themselves a 7-point lead at the top. 2 wins and 3 draws in the last 5 games. 4 of the last 6 they've been winless though, with some slip-ups against Goodwick and Vivian Sevilla and Agamat Grozny, drawn against Slova Bratislavia, and have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Belgian Cup. For Inter Milan, they are currently in 3rd place in Italy, with 2 wins and 2 draws in the past 5 games. 16 wins, 6 draws, 2 defeats the end of the season. 54 points, 3 points behind Juventus, and just the 2 behind Lazio. Inter Milan losing the last 2 matches, crucially a 2-1 loss against Lazio as they try to fight for the season title. Hello there, CBN9 Quakes there, doing a whole bunch of Europa League predictions that's kicking off in a couple of days' time. So nice to see someone join in the live stream. And for Inter Milan, a 1-0 loss against Napoli in the Coppa Italia semi-final Thursday as well too. And how these sides managed to get to the stage. Ludogrets came 2nd in Group H behind Espanyol. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats there this season. Well, for Inter Milan, they suddenly got knocked out of the Champions League there and are the favourites to win at this competition. 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats, 7 points from Group F, but ultimately not good enough. That should give them a very good opportunity to go quite far in this competition. And some insights on this particular match. Get some other notes here. This will be the first competitive meeting between the Ludogrets and Inter Milan. The Belgian sides, both games, have lost against AC Milan back in 2018. Inter have never lost to a Belgian opposition before, managing to win 2 games, won 3. Among the 24 teams to qualify for the Europa League knockout stages via the group stages, no side has conceded more than Ludogrets, and to have only managed to win 1 of the last 9 away games in the Europa League, drawing 4 and losing 4, with Rapid Vienna 1-0 was their last win last season, and Inter striker Lukaku has scored in each of his last 5 Europa League matches, needing 8 goals in his total with Everton in the 2014-15 competition. Belgium also scored in his last 2 Champions League group stages games this term as well too. So Inter Milan should quite comfortably get through this game here. And the odds, $5 for Ludogrets, $3.60 for the draw, and $1.67 for Inter Milan away from home for this first leg here. And my prediction for this game, I'm going to go for Inter Milan to get themselves a 3-1 victory. So on to the next match is between Eintracht Frankfurt and Red Bull Salzburg. Eintracht Frankfurt are currently 10th place in Germany, struggling the other season. 8 wins, 4 draws, and 10 defeats. 28 points gathered so far. 3 wins and a draw in their past 5 league matches. Had suffered a 4-0 loss against Dortmund in their last game. Before that, they ended up bumping Wolfsburg 5-0. A 1-1 draw against Fortuna Düsseldorf as well too. Into the DFB Cup quarterfinal, so German Cup competition there, with a 3-1 victory over Leipzig. And for Red Bull Salzburg are currently 2nd place in Austria, 13 wins, 5 draws, and 1 defeat there the season, with 44 points, 1 point behind the leaders Lask. Has scored more goals this season by 24, but somehow are not top of the table. A 3-2 home loss to Lask last match was pretty fatal in their quest for the season's title. And be after revenge as they play Lask again in the Austria Cup semi-final coming up sometime in the near future. Eintracht Frankfurt managed to get to the stage of competition. They came 2nd in Group F behind Arsenal with 3 victories and 3 losses, 9 points gathered. For Red Bull Salzburg, they got knocked out of the Champions League in the third place spot there. 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats, 7 points for them. And some insights about this particular fixture. This will be the first meeting between Frankfurt and Salzburg since 1994 quarter-final of the Europa Cup. Both sides winning the home leads 1-0 before Austrians progressed via the penalties. Salzburg managed to win their last 2 away games against German sides, Borussia Dortmund and Leipzig, very recently back in 2018. Have won none of the previous 4 such games, drawn 1 and lost 3. Frankfurt have lost just 1 of the last 12 knockouts round stages, winning 4, drawing 7. A 4-2 defeat against Benefica last season's quarter-final. Despite being eliminated, only 3 clubs scored more goals in the Champions League group stages this season than Red Bull Salzburg. Well, that's pretty impressive going there. You're very unfortunate not to go through in the Champions League competition instead. And I actually remember has been directly involved in 5 of Eintracht Frankfurt's last 7 goals in Europa League this season, with 3 goals and 2 assists. So that's a bit of information for this game here. And the odds for this game are $2 for Eintracht Frankfurt, $3.60 for the draw, and $3.30 for the Red Bull to pull off the victory. But this season in Germany, it's been pretty disappointing for Eintracht Frankfurt. So ultimately, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw to kick things off for this first league for this game here. Okay, the next match is Kobenhavn or Kobenhavn from Denmark against Celtic. So Kobenhavn, we're going to go by second place in Denmark at the moment. 15 wins, 1 draw, and 5 defeats. 46 points, 7 points behind Midtjylland. A 1 loss against Esbjerg recently. 4 wins out of the past 5 games for them. Ended up losing the Atlantic Cup final recently to AGF 1-0. For Celtic, they've been dominating Scotland there this season. 24 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, 73 points, and have now got a 10-point lead over Rangers there. Winning the last 7 in a row in the Scottish Premiership and 9 in a row in all competitions. Last game got a late 2-1 victory over Aberdeen as they move a step closer to yet another title lead, unfortunately. And they also one of my Wayman Club Series teams as well too, so I'll be previewing this match once again probably tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one. And last losing to Rangers, 2-1 on the 30th of December. And back then, Rangers basically having the lead over Celtic, but have likewise dropped off a bit since then. And how these sides managed to get through: Kopenhagen coming runners up in Group B there behind Malmo. 2 wins, 3 draws in the group stages. Well, for what Celtic, they ended up topping Group E with 13 points, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. And some insights on this particular fixture between Kopenhagen and Celtic. It'll be the first meeting since the 2006-2007 Champions League group stages, where Celtic got a 1-0 home victory before a 3-1 loss in Copenhagen, where it's been taken place. Celtic's last away win against Danish opposition was all the way back in 1983, 4-1 victory against AGF Aarhus. Copenhagen had just won 1 of their last 7 Europa League home matches, drawing 2, losing 4, excluding the qualifiers, beating Loange 1-0. Since beating Boa Vista 1-0 in the 2002-2003 semi-final, Celtic haven't won any of their 9 knockout stages away games in major European competition. Also failed to score in any of those 9 matches, drawing 1 and losing 8. And Copenhagen are the lowest scores of the 24 teams to which this Europa League knockout wins via the group stages this season, with just only 5 goals scored, so very lucky to sneak through over Dynamo Kiev and Group B there. So odds for this match here: $3.25 for Copenhagen, $3.10 for the draw, and $2.30 for Celtic. And for this match, I'm not going to separate the two sides here. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw to keep the tie very much alive when it goes back to Scotland and Celtic's home ground. Okay, on to the next one between Cluj and Seville. So Cluj are top in Romania there with 14 wins, 7 draws, and 4 defeats. 49 points they picked up there this season. 3 wins and 2 draws in the past 5 matches. They've got themselves a 3-point lead over Universita Craiova. Drawed 0-0 in their last 2 games there against Gaz Merton and Bidewell. And the last loss against AS Getafe 1-0 back on the 25th of January. For Seville, they are 5th in La Liga in Spain. 11 wins, 7 draws, 6 defeats, 40 points so far this season. 1 victory and 2 draws for them in the past 5 games. Winless in the past 4 matches. A 3-1 loss against Mirandes in the Copa del Rey, 1 of 16. And a loss to Celta Vigo, 2-1. Got a couple of draws as well too recently. 1-1 against Alaves and 2-2 draw against Espanyol. These sides managed to get through. Cluj finishing behind the Celtic in Group E. 4 wins, 2 defeats, 12 points there. While for Seville, a Europa League specialist team, topped Group A, 5 wins, 1 defeat. I believe they went 3 years in a row of winning this competition. So definitely be one of the favourites to do so yet again. And have a look on the insights on this particular match. Cluj, only previous meeting of Spanish opposition, came back in 2005 against Athletic Club, with the home sides winning 1-0 initially before Cluj progressed 5-3 on penalties. Seville have won 5 of the last 6 meetings with Romanian sides in all competitions, though they did lose a match in 2009 against Ucini. This is the only Cluj's second appearance in the knockout stages of a major European competition, with the Romanian side losing 5-0 aggregate against Inter Milan at the stage of the 2012-2013 Europa League campaign. Seville have progressed 16 of the last 17 knockout stages in the Europa League, including winning finals, losing the last 16 against Slavia Praha last season. So a bit of a weird slip-up for them last year. Seville's Manuel Al-Haddadi has been involved in 8 goals in the last 7 appearances in the Europa League, scoring 7 and assisting 1 there. So everything really pointing to Seville against the Russian sides. And the odds for this match, if I can find them, well, that's the top one. $4 for Cluj, $3.50 for the draw, $1.83 for Seville. It's been played in Romania, so I'm just going to go for a 1-0 victory for Seville. Okay, the next one is Sporting against Istanbul. Sporting, 4th place in Portugal this season. 11 wins, 3 draws, 7 defeats, 36 points. Got themselves 2 wins and a draw in their last 5 league matches. Got work to do to make the Europa League again next season, though, as there's a few teams catching up right behind them. With Benfica and Porto, the other usual top 3 suspects in Portugal, 17, 18 points ahead of them. It's a pretty poor season for Sporting. 2 losses against Braga in the Cup and semi-final. A Cup semi-final and the league recently as well too, and a 1-1 draw against Where I Have. Istanbul in Turkey currently sitting in 2nd place, with Trabzonspor leading with a game in hand as well. 12 wins, 7 draws, 3 defeats, 43 points for them this season. 3 wins and a draw in the last 5. As things stand, Galatasaray and Sivasspor all with 2 points around each other there, so it's very tight in Turkey. They're out of the Turkish Cup to Kukla, and amazing title race once again. Fenerbahce lost and Sivasspor draw in their recent matches, and how these sides managed to get to the stage of the competition. Sporting came runners-up in Group D there, 4 wins and 2 defeats, 12 points. While for Istanbul, they, I can't find them. Istanbul top Group J, 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats over Roma there with 10 points. Odds this game, $1.91 for Sporting, 3.30 for the draw, 4.20 for Istanbul. But first, you need to have a look at the insights for this match. So this will be the first competitive meeting between these two sides. Sporting has won 2 of the previous 3 home meetings with Turkish opposition, most recently beating Shakhtar 3-1 in the 2015-16 Europa League group stages. Sporting has won 7 of the last 9 Europa League home games, including all 3 in the group stages this season. This is Istanbul's first appearance in the knockout stages of a major European competition. Turkey's sides managing to win the last 2 away games in the group stage by an aggregate score of 5-1. And Enzo Suavali has scored 3 of Istanbul's last 4 goals in the Europa League, has failed to score any of his first 9 appearances in the competition proper, has scored 3 out of 3 for the Turkish side there. So things are looking reasonably bright for Istanbul for this match. And what have I gone for? I've gone for Istanbul to win, as Sporting haven't been having a great season at all in Portugal as well. Going to go for the away sides. Bit of an upset at $4.20 odds. Going to go for a 2-1 this one. Okay, the next game is between Shakhtar Donetsk and Benefica. Shakhtar Donetsk currently top in the Ukraine there. 16 wins, 2 draws, and 0 defeats, 50 points. 4 wins and a draw in their past 5 games. 14-point lead over Dynamo Kiev in second spots. They have drawn against Sunder Disk, only slip up in their last 6 matches. While for Benfica, top in Portugal there, 18 wins, 3 defeats, 54 points, and got a 1-point lead over Porto. 3 wins, 2 losses in their past 5 games. Recent matches, they ended up losing their last 2 games though. A 3-2 loss against Porto, who's in second, and a 1-0 loss against Braga, who's in third place there. So a couple of tough matches, and they're running towards the season's title. So can they do it? And they made the Taça de Portugal final in May there with a 4-3 aggregate victory over Benefica. And how these sides managed to get to the stage of the competition. Shakhtar going at the Champions League stage there, third place. Just the 1 victory, 3 draws, 6 points. Not enough to get into the Champions League knockout stages, but lucky they get to have the track door down to the stage. Istanbul 420 great value on that one, thanks. Yeah, definitely. Even the insights for that game as well too pointed towards Istanbul. And then if you look at how they're doing in the league as well, yeah, things are definitely looking up for Istanbul. So yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah, some good value on that one. So hopefully that one comes on through. And where I'm up to, Benfica, they managed to get to this stage of the competition. Lost it. They also got out of the Champions League stage in third place there, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats, 7 points for them. So both sides were in the Champions League this season and get to play each other, so it's a bit unfortunate for them. Insights for this game. Once things load up there. The first meeting between these two sides since the 2007-2008 Champions League group stages. The Ukrainian side Shakhtar Donetsk winning 1-0 in Lisbon before losing a 2-1 at home in their first fixture. Benefica had alternated between victories and defeats in the 5 previous away games against Ukrainian sides, winning 2-0 at Dynamo Kiev in their last such game. Since reaching the Europa League semi-finals back in 2015-16, Shakhtar Donetsk has been eliminated from their last 4 knockouts ties in major European competition. And since the competition was rebanned in 2009, Benefica has reached at least the quarterfinals in each of the last 5 occasions they participated in the Europa League. And Benfica's Pizzi was involved in 5 goals in their last 4 games of the Champions League group stages. 3 goals, 2 assists. The Portuguese has scored no goals and assisted just 2 of the previous 40 appearances in the Champions League, Europa League combined before this. And the odds for this match here, Shakhtar $2.37, $3.25 for the draw, $3 for Benfica. I think this one will be quite a tough match. Both sides been competing in the Champions League there, so only one side can go through. Going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game here. Okay, the next one is between Getafe and Ajax. Getafe third in Spain. 12 wins, 6 draws, 6 defeats, 4 wins in the past 5. Lost against Barcelona 2-1 at last match. And a loss against Badalona in the Copa del Rey as well too. Leganes will beat us Athletic Valencia, 4 victories for them in the past 5 games. While for Ajax, they are top in the Netherlands there. 17 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats, 53 points, 4 wins in the past 5 matches. Got a 6-point lead over AZ Alkmaar. Ajax qualifying for the semi-finals against Eintracht after beating the T's 3-0. And their last loss was against Green 2-1 back in the 27th of January. Oh yeah, hello there, Football 012 there. You're just a bit sad about how I didn't subscribe to the channel there recently, unfortunately. But thanks for tuning in anyway. So Getafe, they got second in Group C, 4 wins, 2 defeats, 12 points, and for Ajax, they ended up being knocked out of the Champions League group stages there, and a very tough Group H, which Chelsea just managed to edge them out. And odds for this game, Getafe $2.40, $3.25 for the draw, $2.84 Ajax. But first, look at the insights for this match here. Getafe's only previous meeting with Dutch opposition was the first part of the 2007-08 Europa Cup, progressing past FC 20 on away goals there. Ajax has won the last 2 away games against Spanish opposition, 4-1 and 3-0, Real Madrid and Valencia. That's pretty surprising there. More than they had in the previous 11 such trips, with 1 win, 3 draws, 7 defeats. Getafe has won 5 of the last 7 home games in all European competition, losing 2. This is the Spanish side's first appearances in the knockout stages of a major European competition since the 07-08 Europa Cup. Yeah, Getafe has a pretty amazing season so far in Spain there. Including the qualifiers, Ajax are unbeaten in the last 14 European away games, winning 7 and drawing 7. Only between 94 and 97 have they had a long unbeaten run on the road in European competition. And Quincy Promes has scored 4 goals in his last 5 in the Champions League group stages for Ajax this season. The Dutch forward has only scored 3 goals in his last 17 Champions League Europa League appearances for Sevilla and Spartak Moscow combined. So, yeah, his problem was that his videos didn't seem to interest me too much because he just had the graphics of the scores for the live stream games that happened there, and not quite like my videos there. Actually, you get to talk about the game as well too. So I didn't consider I would be watching that often enough to subscribe. So then it'll be just a waste of a subscription there, and then we got a bit into a heated debates, and ultimately I think he unsubscribed from my channel, but he's still coming back to my videos, so that only can be a win for me at the end of the day. So for this game here, I've gone for a Getafe to get the victory here, but it should be an interesting one. I've gone for a 2-0 Getafe victory. Ajax had a pretty amazing season in the Champions League last year, making all the way to the semi-finals, but not quite the same at the end of the season. Okay, on to the next one, which was between Wolfsburg and Malmo. Wolfsburg, 9th in Germany, 8 wins, 7 draws, and 7 defeats, 31 points, 2 wins and a draw in the past 5, a 1-1 draw against Fiorentina, a 2-1 loss against Hertha Berlin, recent slip-ups for them. Yeah, it's all good. It's great there. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of banter between some of the haters, but so nice to have some of their supporters like yourself as well too. And for Malmo, last season in Sweden, only 1 point separated the top 3 sides, with Malmo finishing in 2nd place, 19 wins, 8 draws, 3 defeats, 65 points. Very interesting for Malmo in Sweden, as their season has not kicked off until the 5th of April, so they've been playing a couple of cup games, but otherwise very quiet in Sweden. So a bit of fresh leads, but maybe underperforming because not quite at that fitness level stages. So it's very strange how all the other European leagues are ongoing, but in Sweden things were a bit different start. Might be something to do with the weather climate, not quite sure. And ultimately, last season it was the Brugge then ended up winning the league with MMB coming in 3rd place. How these sides got to the stage, Wolfsburg coming in 2nd in Group I there, behind Gent, with 3 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. While for Malmo, they ended up topping Group B, 3 wins, 2 draws, and 1 victory. Some insights for this match. Wolfsburg, only a previous meeting with Swedish opposition, came all the way back in 2005, as they managed to win at 2-0 on both leagues against Göteborg. This will be Malmo's first meeting with German opposition in the Europa Cup since 83-84 first match, when they lost 3-2 on aggregate against Werder Bremen. Wolfsburg have won 7 of the last 8 home matches in European competition. Last loss was against Gent in the season's group stage. And excluding qualifiers, Malmo has failed to progress from any of their last 6 knockout ties in European competition since eliminating the Shakhtar in the first round of the 1990-91 European Cup. And Malmo has picked up 20 yellow cards in the Europa League so far this season, more than any other side in the competition. So they have to be very careful with their discipline, as they'll definitely come back to bite them in the knockout stages, of course. And a few suspensions as well too, presumably. Only Napoli in the 2010-11 with 21, Hoffenheim 17, 18, 22 have received more yellows in a single group stage since the competition was rebanded in the 09-10 season. So that's some of the insights for that match there. And Wolfsburg at home against Malmo are big favourites at $1.50, $3.75 for the draw, and $6.50 for Malmo. Going to go for Wolfsburg to pick up a comfortable 3-0 victory on this match here. Next game is Bayer Leverkusen against Porto. Leverkusen are currently 5th in Germany there. 12 wins, 4 draws, 6 defeats, 40 points, 4 wins in the past 5 games. Somehow still somewhat in the title race, or getting themselves back into the title race, as I've been calling a 4-team title race this season and in Germany Bundesliga, since I also do those videos if you want to check that out. Recent matches including advancing the DFB Cup and got an epic 4-3 league victory over Dortmund and a 2-1 loss against Hoffenheim. For Porto, they currently sitting in 2nd in Portugal, 17 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, 53 points, 1 point behind the leaders Benefica, 4 wins in the past 5 games. The Taça de Portugal final, defeating Amico de Vicente over the 2 leads. So that was a trophy for them, I think. Or they just, well, I think they get to play in the Taça de Portugal final coming up there. So a trophy opportunity for Porto. And how these sides got to the stage of the competition, Bayer Leverkusen got dropped down from the Champions League, coming in 3rd, Group D, 6 points, 2 wins, 4 defeats. And for Porto, topped Group G, 3 wins and 1 draw, 2 defeats for them. Some insights for this match. Have a look. Leverkusen has won 5 of the last 6 home matches against Portugal opposition, and it'll be their first meeting against Porto though. Porto have never won a knockout match against German opposition in major Europa competitions, drawing 4 and losing 8. And with their first such tie being eliminated from the 2015-16 season against Dortmund, Leverkusen has won 2 of the 3 home games in European competition, as many as they had in the previous 19, winning 10 and drawing 7. Porto haven't won any of their last 13 away knockout round matches in the Champions League or Europa League since winning 5-2 at Sparta Moscow in the quarterfinal back in 2011. So they've got a lot of work to overturn those stats here. And Terzaghan Co-20 has created more chances for his teammates than Porto's Alex Telles in the Europa League so far this season, as he managed to get 19. Odds for this game. $1.91 for Leverkusen, $3.50 for the draw, $3.75 for Porto. Bayer Leverkusen probably win this game at home. Such a great record, and especially Porto's awful away record there. Gonna go for a 3-2 fully victory here for Leverkusen. Next match is AZ Alkmaar against Lask. So AZ Alkmaar are in 2nd spot there in the Netherlands, 15 wins, 2 draws, 5 defeats, 47 points, 2 wins and 3 defeats in their past 5 league games, 6 points behind league leaders Ajax. A 3-1 loss against NAC Kenvias in the Cup quarter-final, and a 2-0 loss against Eintracht. Not quite sure. Lask, 1st in Austria, 14 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats, 45 points, 3 wins and a draw in their past 5 games. Got a 1-point lead over Red Bull Salzburg, and got a big 3-2 victory over them in their last game, and defeated Sturm Graz in the quarter-final cup competition. A 2-1 defeat against CSKA Moscow was some of the recent matchups. These sides got to the stage. AZ Alkmaar finished in 2nd spots in Group L there, 2 wins and 3 draws, 1 defeat, 9 points. While for Lask, they topped Group D, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat, 13 points for them. Some insights for this particular fixture. be the first competitive meeting between AZ and Lask. The Dutch side has never beaten Austrian opposition. First meeting since the 2-2 draws with Austria win in the 2011-12 Europa League group stages. Having failed to score in the last 3 meetings with Dutch opponents, Lask won the last such game at 4-1 versus PSV on match day number 4. And including qualifiers, AZ have just lost 1 of the past 13 games in the European competition, winning 6 and drawing 6, going down 4-0 against Manchester United the season. Lask have been eliminated 10 of the last 12 previous knockout ties in the major European competition, with this being their first such match since the first round of the 1999-2000 Europa Cup. And Lask attempted 127 shots in the Europa League group stages, more than any other side in this competition this season. Meanwhile, AZ has had the most attempts in single Europa League matches this season, 36 against Astana. Wow, so both sides are having a lot of shots on goal, and especially Lask, and put Lask on the thumbnail without really even realising that. And odds for this game, 2.25 for Alkmaar, 3.40 for the draw, $3.10 for Lask here. Should be very interesting to have a look back on this game, see how many shots and how many shots on target. But how many goals will that equate to? Going to go for Alkmaar to get the victory here, as the stats say. Going to go for a 2-0 Alkmaar victory on this one. Next game is Olympiakos against Arsenal. So Olympiakos are currently top in Greece there, 18 victories and 6 draws. Have not lost a game at all in Greece, undefeated. Very impressive. 60 points and got a 2-point lead over second place Apoel. 4 wins and a draw for them in their past 5 league games. And through to the semi-final of the Greek Cup after beating Lamia, 3-2 in a 2-league quarter-final tie. And for Arsenal, they're currently mid-table in England, 10th place, 7 wins, 13 draws and 6 defeats, drawing half of their fixtures there the season. 1 win and 4 draws in the last 5 games. Through to the 5th round of the FA Cup after they defeated Bournemouth 2-1 recently. And so far unbeaten this year or this decade under Arteta, the manager. 4 wins and 4 draws. But those draws coming against Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, Chelsea and Burnley is some things they need to sort out. But really, they're still in a chance of getting into the Champions League the season, as it seems like there might be a 5th place side that goes through as well too, with that Manchester City ban also taking place. So Olympiakos, they got knocked out of the Champions League in Group B, just picking up 4 points, 1 victory, 1 draw. And for Arsenal, started off in the Europa League, but ended up topping Group F, 3 victories, 2 draws, and 1 defeat for them. Some insights for this fixture. None of the 8 previous meetings between Olympiakos and Arsenal have finished level, with each side winning 4 games, including 3 out of 4 home victories for the Greek sides. This will be Arsenal's 9th meeting with Olympiakos. They only ever faced Bayern Munich more often in European competition with 12. So quite a few matches between these 2 sides, so they'll know each other quite well. Olympiakos have won just 1 of their last 11 knockout stage matches in major European competition, drawing 4 and losing 6, winning 3-0 against Osmanspor in the 2016-17 Europa League. Arsenal have progressed from 11 of their last 12 2-league knockout ties in the Europa Cup competition, failing only at the 2017-18 semi-final in that one. And Bukayo Saka has been involved in 6 Europa League goals this season, 2 goals, 4 assists, more than any other Arsenal player. Indeed, only 3 players in this competition as a whole have been involved in more goals than this 18-year-old this term. And the odds for this match here, 2.88 for Olympiakos, 3.30 for the draw, $2.40 for Arsenal, Olympiakos at home in Greece there, I think, will have enough in it to win the home league. Arsenal don't really travel too well away from home, sort of back them more so to get the job done at home as they've done on previous occasions, and they managed to make the Europa League final, of course, the last season against Chelsea, but ultimately not good enough as Chelsea ended up winning. 1-0 for Olympiakos is my prediction for this match here. Next game is between another Premier League team of Wolves and Espanyol. So Wolves currently sitting 8th in the Premier League, 8 wins, 12 draws and 6 defeats, 1 victory and 3 draws in the past 5 games. Winless in the past 3 matches though, with a 2-1 loss against Liverpool, so everyone has been losing against Liverpool, and 0-0 draws against Manchester United and Leicester. And out of the FA Cup, losing a third one, we played to Manchester United 1-0. While for Espanyol, it's been absolutely woeful, shocker, unbelievable season for them in La Liga, currently sitting bottom of the table in the relegation fights and also competing in the Europa League at the same time. So what has gone on for Espanyol there? 4 wins, 7 draws and 13 defeats. They have picked up a bit of form there recently with 2 wins and 2 draws in the past 5 games, and just the 2 points away from safety. Recent matches, they got knocked out of the Copa del Rey, 2-0 against Real Sociedad, a 1-1 draw against Apoel, a 2-1 defeat against Granada, a 1-0 victory against Mallorca, and 2-2 draw against Sevilla was a pretty good result there for the last match. And how the sides got to the stage for Wolves, they came second to Group K behind Braga with 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. And for Espanyol, they ended up topping Group H, 3 victories, 2 draws, 1 defeat for them. And some insights for this match then. Wolves' only previous meeting with Spanish opposition came back in the 1959-60 European Cup quarter-final, where they were eliminated by Barcelona 9-2 on aggregate, 4 away, 5-2 at home. Espanyol's only previous meeting with English opponents was in the second round back in 61-62, eliminated 5-3 on aggregate, so both sides on big aggregate losses. And the one stretching back to 1973, Wolves have won 9 of their last 10 home games in all European competitions, losing only 1 against Braga this season. The last time Espanyol were in the knockout stages of a major European competition, they ended up making the final before losing to penalties against Sevilla back in 2006 for his 7th season. And including qualifiers, Royal Genovese has been involved in 12 goals in his 11 games in European competition for Wolves this season, scoring 9 and assisting 3 there. The Wolves at home, $1.53 to win, $3.75 for the draw, and $7 for Espanyol. And honestly, Espanyol probably want to just get rid of this competition there because safety is more important than just making one extra stage round of this game. So if I was them, probably just play some youth players and sort of throw this competition away, as it's been absolutely shocking in La Liga for them. So I'm going to go for Wolves to get a big victory here. I'm going to go for a 4-1 scoreline. Next game is between Apoel and Basel. So Apoel third in Cyprus there. 11 wins, 5 draws and 4 defeats. 38 points and 5 points behind the leaders Ano Forces. 3 wins and a draw in the past 5 matches. Knocked out by a Polion Limassol in the Cypriot Cup recently, and lost to AEK Larnaca 1-0, and 0-0 draw against Ano Forces as well too. Some recent matches for you. For Basel, 3rd place in Switzerland at the moment, 12 wins, 3 draws and 7 defeats. 39 points, 1 victory, 4 defeats in the last 5 matches. 5 of the last 6 games losses, and also been playing a couple of winning matches. Don't really know why that happens when there's been competitive fixtures in and around that mark as well, with Hamburg, SV, and Grasshoppers, and 5 points behind the 2 top teams of St. Gallen and Young Boys. These teams got to the stage of competition. Apoel came second in Group A there, 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. And for Basel, they ended up topping Group C, 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 defeat for them. Some insights for this match. Have a look. The first competitive meeting between these 2 sides, with the cyclist team Apoel having lost 3 of the past 4 games against Swiss opposition. Basel only faced Cypriot opposition once before, with the Swiss sides eliminated from the Europa League qualifying by Apoel Limassol last season. Apoel won their last 3 Europa League group stage games to reach the round of 32, as many wins as they had in the previous 17 games in major European competition. So very well done for them to make it to the stage. Basel have won just 1 of the last 6 away games in European competition. Draw 1, lose 4. Beating Getafe 1-0 in the season's Europa League group stages. And only Sevilla plus 11 had a better goal difference in the Europa League group stages than the season Basel plus 8. So for this game here, odds for this match, 2.75 for Apoel, 3.25 for the draw, and $2.50 for Basel. And for whatever reason, I've gone for Basel to get a 3-0 victory. Not too sure about that one, but that's what I've gone for. Okay, not too many matches left to go now. I did think it was going to go for about an hour, and we're right on track with that, as we got 2 games to go, one against Gent and Rangers against Braga. So let's get cracking and let's get to it. So Roma, 5th place in Italy, 11 wins, 6 draws, and 7 defeats, 39 points so far this season, 1 victory and a draw in their past 5 games. Lost the past 3 matches against Sassuolo 4-2, Bologna 3-2, and Atalanta 2-1. They drew against Lazio 1-1 and Juventus a 3-1 Coppa Italia quarter-final game as well too. You have to go back 6 games since their last tasted victory against Genoa 3-1 on the 20th of January. While for Genk, they are 2nd place in the Belgian League, 15 wins, 7 draws, 4 defeats, 52 points for them this season, 4 wins and a draw in their past 5 league games, 9 points behind the leaders Club Brugge, a 1-1 draw against Anderlecht and Knight, only slip up in their last 7 games. And Roma came 2nd place in Group J, 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat, 9 points. And for Genk, they end up topping Group I, 3 wins, 3 draws, undefeated, 12 points to go through. Some insights for this particular match then. Let's have a look-see. The only previous meeting between Roma and Genk came in the 2009-2010 Europa League qualifying, with the Italian side winning 3-1 at home and 7-1 away. Wow, very impressive. And Genk's only previous meeting with Italian opposition was against Roma in the 2009-10 season, with the Belgian sides falling to the biggest aggregate beat in any 2-legged European side, 10-2. Jeez, doesn't look great for Genk, does it? Across all European competition, Roma has lost just 1 of their last 14 home games, winning 10, drawing 3, going down at 2-0 to Real Madrid in last season's Champions League. And including qualifiers, Genk are unbeaten in the last 10 matches in European competition. Okay, looking a bit better now for Genk, winning 5 and drawing 5. And Roman Edin Dzeko has scored 10 goals in his last 9 home appearances in major European competition. And the odds for this game, Roma are the favourites at $1.45, $4.33 with draw, and $7 for Genk. That ultimately Roma should win this game quite comfortably as well too. Going to go for a 3-0 victory for this match here. And I believe this is the last game that I've got left to preview. And it's between Rangers and Braga. So Rangers second in Scotland, 20 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats, 63 points, 3 wins and a draw in the past 5 games, 10 points behind leaders Celtic, though they do have a game in hand, but I've officially called Celtic winning this season's total in Scotland there, unfortunately. So, yeah. So it's going to be second place for Rangers. So some recent slip-ups against Alkmaar, 2-1. Hearts, 2-1. Aberdeen, 0-0 draw is some of their slip-ups, which is ultimately ended in their title failure. Forward to the Scottish Cup quarter-finals, though, against Hearts on the 1st of March, so still a chance of a trophy out in Scotland there, but have to somehow get past Celtic eventually. And for Braga, third in Portugal at the moment, 11 wins, 4 draws, 6 defeats, 37 points, 4 wins and a draw in the past 5 games. Only slip up in the last 10, being a 2-2 draw against Benefica. Ended up winning the Taça de la Liga against Porto. Oh, okay. What they were fun a bit more clear cut, because when I mentioned about Porto earlier, it seemed like there was still another game to go there. So Braga ended up winning a cup competition there this season. So well done to them. And how they managed to get forward to the stage for Rangers, second spots in Group G, 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat behind leaders Porto. And for Braga, they ended up topping Group K, 4 wins, 2 draws, 0 defeats. And some insights for this match then. This will be the first meeting between Rangers and Braga. Rangers have never lost a home match against Portuguese opposition, winning 6 in 22, including a 2-0 victory over Porto in this season's group stage. Braga have lost 5 of the previous away games against Scottish sides in European competition, going 3-1 against Hearts in 2004 and a 2-1 defeat against Celtic back in 2010. This will be Rangers' first appearance at the knockout stages of a major European competition since the 2010-11 Europa League. They beat Portuguese sides Sporting in the round of 32 before being eliminated at the last 16 stage. So Rangers have been slowly making a climb back in the last few years. Of course, when they went bankrupt, some administration issues, when they went all the way down the leads, and then slowly worked their way back up to the Scottish Premiership and improving each season there. Just need to go one step further and win another trophy again. And including qualifiers, Braga are unbeaten in the last 13 matches in European competition, winning 9, drawing 4, needing 29 goals in total across these games. Rangers Alfredo Morales as the top scorer in the Europa League this season with 6 goals. No Rangers player has scored more in a single season in major European competition, excluding qualifiers, with the Colombian equalizer James Boris Hall from the 64-65 European Cup. And for this final match, the odds for this game, $2.10 for Rangers, $3.30 for the draw, and $3.40 for Braga. Gonna go for Rangers to get the home victory there at 2-1. And that's all of those matches there. And feel free to leave some comments before I go along. There's just one other thing left to say. Well, a couple of things, I guess. The overall odds for the season's Europa League there, that's Inter Milan and Sevilla are the favourites at $7 odds. Manchester United, $7.50. The next favourites, Arsenal, $8. Ajax at $8.50. Wolves are 10-1 odds. Roma at $13. Salzburg, 19-1. Benefica, 23-1. Leverkusen, 26-1. Celtic, 34. Getafe, 34. Shakhtar, Wolfsburg, also 34. Eintracht, Porto, 41. Basel wins 1451 to 1 to go all out and win the trophy. AZ, Alkmaar, Club Brugge, Espanyol, and Rangers are 67 to 1. Copenhagen, Olympiakos 81 to 1. Lask at 126. Ludogrets at 151. Shakhtar 200 to 1 with Gent and Malmo. Club Brugge, not Club Brugge, the first one, the Cluj, at 251, and finally Apoel, the Cyprus club, at 500 to 1 to go all out and win the trophy there. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, be greatly appreciated, and feel free to check out my Champions League predictions for the Under 16 as well too. If you haven't done so already, that one goes for just a measly half hour. And if you're interested in these other European competition events there, we've also got the Premier League, La Liga, French League, Scottish Premiership, all those great stuff there. Cheers there, greats. Anything else you want to say before I head off? If not, I'll see you in my next videos. Got a whole bunch of those league predictions to do, and a few other Winner Club series with the Manchester United, because unfortunately Chelsea was not able to defeat them for the Europa League. So I've got that Europa League game, and I've got the Celtic Europa League game coming up as well too. Okay, it doesn't look like you have anything else to say, so thumbs up, subscribe, and check out all my other videos. And be back again for the second leg of the Europa League competition with some more predictions and another look on the odds and see how they shifted. That's been fun and entertaining. It's been great to see a couple of people come along there, mainly you, because football didn't have too much to say to the